Welcome everyone to the newest episode of the Ballinesian podcast, week 13 recap. We're sponsored by Livasa Island Apparel, www.livasaislandapparel.com. Welcome in. We're getting straight to it. I am Lance Falatongo.
Hey, yo, you can see the background. You know what it is.
Got the Raider Ninjas.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Welcome in. And yeah, talking about playoffs. We are fantasy playoffs starting in like a week or two. The NFL playoffs, I think there's just like 4 or 5 games left in the season. So definitely the playoff postseason field is starting to shake out. But we want to go through and see who all is going to make the playoffs and for those that are in the hunt, what they need to do. And we were talking about if the Patriots at 2-10 are still mathematically in the hunt to get a playoff bid, like they would need 10 things to go their way, specific things from each team, but that's not going to happen, right? The Chargers and the Raiders are both 5-7. Those are our teams. So if the Patriots are in it, the Chargers and Raiders still could make the playoffs. I'm starting to feel like
This is the thing, though. As a player, how invested are you in that playoff run if you're 2-5, 5-6, 5-7? Like realistically, are you not
yeah,
looking towards the offseason already? Like so say for like the Raiders, obviously, because I'm a Raiders fan. Like Devontae Adams. What is he playing for now? Like how hard is he gonna go? Does he really think they're gonna make the playoffs? Does he think he's gonna be with the team next year? Because I think this is his last year of his 3-year contract. Just or does he have one more year?
do you think he should like not play anymore?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying so how invested are you? Like how hard are you gonna go during the season? Obviously they're professionals. Hopefully they go hard all the time, but like, where if there's a play where like sometimes you're like, if you're really in the hunt, you know what I mean? In your mind, it's like anything goes. I'm gonna die for this, first down. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? You're gonna push a little harder when you're say instead of 6-5, 6-7, say you're like 7-4, maybe something like that. You know what I mean? You're gonna try harder because you're mathematically more plausible
Because
to make the playoffs.
you're like, okay, so right now, say for the AFC, the wild card teams after the division champs are all 7-5. So the 5, 6, and 7 seeds are the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, and Indianapolis Colts. And then I think due to tiebreakers, the Houston Texans are in the eighth seed, so they would not make the playoffs.
Mm,
But yeah, so you're saying if you're one of those teams like the Steelers, it's been sucky, right? Your quarterback gets knocked out, you've been outgained for so long. Matt
right.
Canada is your OC for the longest, finally gets fired. Like those guys are more likely, you're saying, to like be okay. We got to protect this playoff spot. It's a kind of like a sure thing. If we just win out, we're already in
Right.
that spot, so we control our destiny. As opposed to the guys on the Patriots, Titans, Jets, who are 2-10 or 4-8, and they're like, oh, like even if we do win all our games, we still need a bunch of other stuff to break right.
Right.
Those
Like,
guys are less like,
because there's guys on those teams really that are going to be fighting for a spot. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
but it's up to coaches who you play, and even the coaches are probably fighting for their jobs as well too, especially position coaches at the moment. You know, head coaches if they aren't already fired, they might still be. Sorry, Lance, you guys might be with you guys might still be with your guy for another year or two because I
because he
think that
beat the Patriots
by 6 points.
by six. Because well, you can say he either barely beat the Patriots or
Or
he
he
shut
blanked them,
out the Patriots.
and he's a defensive coach.
Yeah, and but yeah, we can talk about the Chargers. The Chargers, yeah, Brandon Staley.
So see,
The if
that's
the
what I'm saying.
Patriots would have scored a touchdown at the end, which they were threatening to do, and won the game 7-6,
I think he gets
Brandon
fired the
Staley
next
wouldn't have
day.
made it back on the
No,
plane. They would have fired him
no,
there, gave
yeah,
him like I don't know a
definitely.
different plane ticket. But yeah, just I think just the fact that they won that game has bought him some more time, possibly even to the end of the season, because the
Mm.
Chargers are going to go on. Uh,
Like you said, mathematically still in it.
yeah, and their schedule isn't super crazy coming up. You got the Broncos, Raiders, Bills, Broncos, Chiefs. So that I mean, three division games, four division games is going to be hard, but yeah,
I
it's
mean,
possible that the Chargers can, finish
at,
this on a run or at
at
least on a
least
positive note.
possible losses with the Chiefs and the Raiders. So, you know,
Right. Possible, right? Possible with the
yeah,
Bills. The Broncos also have been streaking. So definitely the Chargers could go 5-0, could go 0-5 because they're the Chargers and other
right.
teams they play to other teams. They play down a lot. They don't show up. They falter at the end, but
I mean, the Raiders' final stretch starts with Minnesota, so that's pretty tough. Not just Minnesota, a Minnesota with Jay Jetta back in the lineup.
with who? Justin Jefferson is back. Nice.
Yes,
Okay, that's good news for you, right? Fantasy football.
fantasy football, yes. As a Raiders fan, no.
Yeah.
Also, their
Oh,
running game
gotcha.
has started to pick up again. Um, they have a backup. Ty Chandler is actually uh like their lightning to their thunder. Their thunder being Madison, who's actually played a pretty good game these past two games. Uh, so tough. That's definitely a tough game for the Raiders. Also with Max Crosby listed as healthy, but coming off a knee injury. Also a game where you could totally see he wasn't 100% with that knee. So yeah,
I'm looking at the NFL playoff probabilities. The Dolphins are right now the number one seed in the AFC. We're going to talk about the NFC, the Eagles, the Niners, freaking whoever else is over there. But let's knock out the AFC real quick. Right now, the Dolphins are the number one seed at 9-3. They have a tiebreaker over Baltimore right now.
hmm.
They're in the last five are Titans, Jets, Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills. So the Dolphins could be 12-5,
Or
or well, they're 9-3 right now. What do you think they finish as? With the Titans and Jets, that I think that's two, right? So that's 11-3, and then the Cowboys and Ravens are two of the top teams in the NFL right now on both sides of the ball. And then you have the Bills that are a wild card in the last game of the year. Bills who are probably going to be knocked out by then. But say they're 3-2 here, they could finish 12-5, 13-4 maybe, with an extra win there, and that could be the number one or two seed.
I
Uh,
like 13-4 because I mean they got Devin Achan back, so
they
they're getting pretty
can,
healthy.
yeah.
Um Tyreek looks like Tyreek. Sheesh, that guy's fast.
He had that broken, or he hurt his hand, at least in that episode of Hard Knocks. Just like, and he couldn't like really catch at the end of that. I think it was a Jets game, or
Oh,
maybe the game after that.
he looked
But
fine yesterday.
yeah, so but the Dolphins and the Ravens again. The Dolphins and the Ravens play in week 16 or week 17. Right? Oh, that sounds weird. Right, because it goes week 18 because we have 17
Yeah.
games. So the Dolphins and the Ravens play in that second to the last week of the season. That's probably going to determine uh, whether first, second seed and who gets it between those teams. The Jacksonville Jaguars are in third. The Kansas City Chiefs are in fourth right now. The Jaguars are 8-3. Chiefs are 8-4. Let's see. The Jaguars, their last five games, they're playing the Bengals right now.
Playing the Bengals right now.
And then they got the Browns, tough defense. The Ravens, good team. The Buccaneers, Panthers, and the Titans. So they're going to be like 11-6. 12-4. No, wait, 12-5. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
17 games.
yeah.
And then they're going to be battling with Indianapolis. That again, they play the Ravens too. So the Ravens are going up against a bunch of these division leaders in the AFC. Because the Ravens have the Rams next week, Jaguars, 49ers, Dolphins, and Steelers. Oh, that's tough. The Ravens might lose three or four of those.
I mean, the Jags might drop one tonight. It's 28-28 right now. So
Nice. Um, who do you think comes out on top of the AFC? It's actually pretty close, and there's a bunch of cross matchups that are going to happen between those leaders.
Man, you know what? If we're talking about AFC, I still like the Dolphins because I think they're healthy now, a lot healthier. They got Ramsey back, who they really needed in the defensive backfield, and their D line right now is killing. So I like the Dolphins to finish out as top on the AFC.
And
Like to
and
see two up there.
heck yeah, yeah. Tua Tagovailoa, his little brother set the record for Big
Oh yeah,
Ten career passing yards in the Big Ten.
you know,
Is it Big Ten?
Big Ten.
Dang,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's also what happens when you stay in school. You know what I mean? Like when you don't leave early and you have like a
Hmm.
whole, I think he's 3 year career there because he spent his, yeah. I
All right.
think he's still eligible for one more year. So
Of the teams in the hunt, 10, 9, and 8 seed, the Bills, Broncos, and Texans, which one of those three teams are you more confident in overtaking and getting a playoff seed?
just in this last half of the season to push, I like the Texans. I
They're
really like the
young, but
Texans.
they're
They are.
they're winning. They like I think it comes from CJ Stroud, bro. He
The
looks
only
so
thing
comfortable up there, like a pro veteran quarterback.
they lost Tank Dell for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah.
That's tough.
They so okay in fantasy. Nico Collins, Noah Brown, Dalton
No Brown.
Schultz,
Yep.
Damian Pierce, Devin Singletary. Singletary's been getting a bunch of touches, but Pierce is back. Um, is there anybody you think is going to become like the clear cut favorite for CJ Stroud now that Tank Dell's out?
I think Nico Collins because he was the one getting all the attention early on in the season. He had a couple of really good games. He got hurt, he came back, and then by that when he came back, Tank Dell was seated in that number one position at wide receiver. So yeah, I like Nico Collins for that. But also, like you mentioned, Damian Pierce is starting to step up again. So they look good in the backfield because Singletary's also been having pretty good games. Nothing like eye popping, like you're gonna be, oh damn, Devin Singletary. But if you're watching the games that the Titans
Mm.
play, then you can see the production that he has on the field. So
That's crazy that the AFC South might have three teams in there with the Texans, Colts, and the Jaguars. I did not think that of the AFC South being the or the power division in the AFC that would get more than two teams in the playoffs. But yeah, also hoping for runs from the Raiders and the Chargers. Let's see the Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, Bills, Broncos, Chiefs. See the Raiders last five. Who are you guys playing next?
Minnesota,
Minnesota.
Minnesota, it's gonna be a
Minnesota.
good game. It's gonna be a good game.
After that, you guys have Chargers, Chiefs, Colts, Broncos, with the
Yeah,
possibility of finishing 10-7, and hoping that's good enough for like one of the wild card
that's
spots.
crazy to think that a 10-win season isn't enough to get you into the wild card spot. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. So that's the AFC. NFC is where there's a bunch of big power teams, 10 win teams. You got the Eagles, who just lost to the 49ers in
Hey
a
man,
big
don't
game on Sunday.
don't downplay it, man. I'm sorry, Eagles fans, especially to our close ones. He got spanked on
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football.
What was it, 49 to like 15 or something?
Yeah, something like that, like a lot to a little.
Yo. The Eagles, well, what about this game stood out the most to you? Like for the 49ers being just comfortable looking 42-19.
Is seeing their team play as everybody thought they would look from the beginning of the season. Having everybody healthy on offense, that's crazy to have. Debo just went off. And you know what? And it wasn't just Debo, because then you saw McCaffrey just kind of just cut through, all the line, just little steps here, little steps there, all the cuts he was making to get up and down the field. Man, and then you have Ayuk, who did score a touchdown, up and down the field as well, making catches, and Kittle's on those third downs, man, just you
Mm.
know, pushing his way for first downs. They're a tough team, and then they still got pretty good backups on the team, so that's tough. And their defense again, looking like the defense we thought we would see at the beginning of the season. I didn't think we'd see that against Philly. I really honestly thought Philly was gonna be better offensively. Um, but I think also I don't know, was Swift out for the rest of the game after that hit? Well, he
I
got
think so.
smacked,
He
man.
might
He
miss
got
time.
ooh, that's tough. So yeah,
Yo,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, got smacked for
yeah,
real.
oh
Yeah, that was a
man.
tough one. Legal hit though, right?
Legal hit, yeah,
Shoulder
legal hit, yeah.
below the helmet.
That's how you teach the kids in Popcorn that they hit just right into his chest. You know what I mean? Shoulder pads into his chest.
Mhm. So
But
the Niners, you say the Niners are would be favored in the playoffs if they were to face the Eagles?
if they were to face the Eagles right now, yes.
They
I
just because they went to Philadelphia and won this game in
yeah,
the league in
they
Philadelphia.
went to Philadelphia, raped them, came back home. You know
Damn.
what I mean? Just
The though, so if they met again in the playoffs, the Eagles right now are the higher seed, so they would have the
home.
home field advantage. But the
And
Niners just like showed that that doesn't matter. They I think they were favored by 3 points coming in. They definitely covered.
yeah, but of course, Philly is a really good team. So going into the playoffs, everybody's a different team going into the playoffs. There's, the expectations you have are thrown out the window. Whatever you were in the regular season, you're not that team in the playoffs. So hopefully they go in healthy. Because they are a really good team when they're healthy and hitting on all cylinders. 49ers just really had their number on Sunday because even when he hit like Devontae, when he was hitting Devontae for passes, Hurts
Mhm.
and AJ Brown, it looked like just maybe one more missed tackle, then they break, or just the next play they're about to score, and they just couldn't do it. They couldn't get over that hump. So
It feels like the Eagles, who like are more like a power run team. Sometimes when they get behind, like they do have the weapons, right? The AJ
they do.
Brown,
AJ
Devontae
Brown,
Smith, Dallas
yep,
Goddard when he's available. I heard they were thinking
yep,
about re-signing Zach Ertz, who cleared waivers. But yeah, they definitely do have the talent there to lead a passing attack and a quarterback who can throw, right? But
right,
that running game, the controlling the clock, kind of grinding
yeah.
out wins, I think
I
is
mean,
the like the edge that the Eagles have. Like they're a lot of these games they're not favored and they end up blowing the other team out, or they're favored by a little, end up blowing the other team out. I don't think the calculations have caught up to exactly what the Eagles do. Them going for it on fourth and short, them always pushing, them being aggressive, and more controlling the clock and able to take teams' best offenses and keep them on the sideline. They're going to have the
right,
ball for 40 minutes. You're
right,
only going to get like 6 chances with the ball when you're playing the Eagles. But this, when it's on the other side and the other team is scoring and now they're down, I think it wasn't until the third quarter where they were down 2 scores, but after that it floodgates, right? Wide
yeah,
open.
Floodgate, yeah.
And they couldn't throw, they couldn't keep up with what McCaffrey, Brock Purdy were doing for San Francisco. Brock Purdy, the league favorite for MVP now,
I don't know about
the
that, man.
betting favorite,
I mean, league's weird.
just because they're gonna win their next
That
5 games.
that's what I mean. Like, I don't know.
Or okay, so the last five for the Niners, I think they're favored in all of these. The Seahawks, they got the Seahawks at home. They travel to Arizona to face Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. They get the Ravens at home. They get the Commanders in Washington, and then the Rams at home. So it's possible that they finish this 5-0, the last 5 games, and they finish the season 14-3, which would possibly be the number one seed. Because let's look at the Philadelphia Eagles, who are now 10-2. Their last 5 games, they get the Cowboys, the Seahawks in Seattle, the Cowboys in Dallas, the Seahawks in Seattle before the Giants, Cardinals, and then the Giants again. So if they lose one of the Cowboys and the Seahawks games and only finish 1-4 or 4-1, then they're also 14-3, tied with the Niners, who beat them in a heads-up game. So I think the Niners would then get the number one seed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does actually. A
That's
lot of tiebreakers, but yeah, I think
if they finish with the same record, the head to head is a tiebreaker, right?
yeah, the head to head is a tiebreaker. So
Okay.
yeah, I think either way, I think Niners is going to be on top of the NFC at the end of the regular season. And again, nothing against Purdy. because you listen to his story and you want to say that alone probably should give him the MVP. Just
I,
but
I don't
I
even
don't
think
think
he's the MVP of his team.
that I was just about to say. I don't think he's the MVP on that team. If anything, CMC is the MVP of that
Yeah,
team
yeah,
because
yeah.
we've seen what happens when he's not there. Of course, we've also seen what happens when Brock Purdy isn't there. We saw that in the playoffs last year.
True, true.
But like throughout the season, if you don't have CMC, you're still probably one of the top teams in the NFC, but you're not as good a team without CMC, and that's what makes it MVP. So
It's okay. If this Niners team had started Trey Lance from the beginning and got CMC the whole time, do you think they would be like have just beaten the Niners and a game behind them, or just beaten the Eagles? Like, do you think they would be as successful? What are
man,
they, 10? Now 9-3 with Trey Lance? Even if CMC was playing the way he's been playing, got all the touchdown streak and everything, I
I
feel like,
I
ugh.
think it's a possibility they could, but you'd have to alter that offense a little bit. It
Ooh,
it
yeah, yeah.
you'd look a little bit more like Philadelphia, just so
Mm-hmm,
you
mm-hmm,
can
mm-hmm.
what I mean use Trey Lance's all his skills, which are his legs, of course. And he'd look a little like Jalen Hurts out of that offense. And if you could do that, because I mean, like again, Jalen Hurts is still a guy who can throw the ball. He finds his receivers. AJ Brown's happy. You don't hear him complaining about not getting the ball. So
True.
yeah, if you can put Trey Lance in the same position that you guys that Philly puts the Eagles, that Philly puts Jalen Hurts in, I think I think
It could
this
have been
quarterback.
possible with Trey
Right.
Lance, but
Yeah.
I feel like Brock Purdy's back there. I don't know if it's such a easy thing as like computer code. If X, then Y. Like if A, then B. Like if this guy's not open,
Yeah,
then
I don't
this
think
guy
it's
is
that
open.
easy, but I get
But
what you're
that's
saying.
what it looks like. It
Right.
looks the
Right.
progression steps. I don't know if it's like the way they put the receivers, where they want the receivers to end up to like line up the looks, but it does look like Purdy is comfortable. And when he locks in and finds the right receiver, he's usually making the right pass, whether it's a bullet pass, laying it over somebody, giving it in space with some room to run. Um,
I mean, you can
and I feel like
really,
that's a system thing more than it is a Brock Purdy's
Brock
talent
Purdy,
thing. But we've seen
but
more
that's his
talented
talent, though.
quarterbacks fail in that
Right.
system.
And that's his talent. That's his talent is being able to run that system.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, and just the little things he does, like he doesn't make too many mistakes. He doesn't, like you see a lot of guys
Yeah.
trying to do too much in the backfield when they get flustered. He's smart. He throws the ball away when he's supposed to. If he takes a sack, it's not too bad of a sack. He doesn't throw many interceptions or hasn't been throwing many interceptions. So, and he's not just a game manager because I mean, he's an
Ooh.
accurate quarterback. He's an accurate quarterback. He's a little bit more than just a game manager.
And he does throw it long sometimes. Like I'm sure that's when the play calls
Right.
for it, but he can
But you could also
set
say
up and rope it.
the same people who talk shit about Tua just throwing like 2 yard dump offs to Tyreek. You could say the same thing about Purdy when you saw it on Sunday when he was hitting Debo. He didn't hit Debo. All those passes weren't like 40-yard passes, 60-yard
Right,
passes.
right. They were screens, dump
Right.
offs,
Yeah.
drags in space that let
Right.
these run after catch monsters
Yeah.
do their like strengths. But yeah, definitely I would need to check the difference in I'm gonna write this down in Purdy's air yards and pass
And
yards
pass yards. Yeah.
to
Yards after
see
catch.
and like to check it to the average of the league. But yeah, air yards versus pass yards, and then we'll have that. But yeah, I mean, I can't knock that Purdy is doing the right thing, right? He's been
No.
given the
No. Yeah.
opportunity to run this system, and it looks like he's running it the best. I don't think that makes him the MVP,
Look,
though.
if you're a San Francisco fan and you tell me that you think Brock Purdy's the MVP, I'm not going to argue with you because he's doing exactly what you want him for your team that you're cheering for. That's okay. But me
Mhm.
for San Francisco fans, don't get mad at us when we tell you that he's not the best guy in your team. How is he going
Yeah.
to be the best guy in the league?
Maybe we're just
So,
like old school. Oh, the running back is where it all starts.
well, that too. But I mean,
Grr.
it's also I mean, it's not just that he's a running back because we can obviously see CMC does a lot more than just run the ball to the backfield.
Mm.
So just like how we were saying, like, it must be so calming in your mind to think that when you go back to pass, you can look around and just be like, man, fuck it. I'm just gonna dump it to CMC.
Yeah.
And it's like Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yards,
Who is going to catch it, who is going to have a step on his defender, who's going to
right?
probably get positive yardage. Yeah. It's really easy to dump. Yeah.
Look,
Especially
and
that's got to help your stats too.
for sure, and you pointed it out. You sent us that uh post in the chat about CMC being the first 49ers 1,000 yard rusher since when?
Frank Gore,
Yeah,
2014?
Steve. So, and they haven't been
What?
doing bad. Like, I mean, they had guys, they were making it work with
Right,
the
right.
running back by committee, but you see how much better they are with an actual 1,000 yard rusher. And that's we're not even counting his passing yards, that he
Oh
gets.
man, yep,
So
out the backfield receiving yards,
yeah.
and he can pass. He can throw
And
touchdowns.
we've seen it, we've seen
A
it,
little
we've
bit of
seen it.
LT there.
And
Uh,
all of this we're talking about now, and this is also why I think San Francisco will be leading the NFC into the playoffs. So
yeah, if the
they're
Niners and Eagles finish with the same record, the Niners will have that tiebreaker. Out of the other teams, the freaking Atlanta Falcons, 6-6, the number 4 seed. That's great. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be fighting with the Eagles, trying to bring
Eagles.
them down. The Vikings are in the 6th seed. Justin Jefferson, get back in there. And the Green Bay Packers, who just beat the
Wow.
freaking Kansas City
Wow.
Chiefs, are now the 7th seed
What's going on
in
in
front of the
Kansas
Rams and
City?
Seahawks. Damn, it's pretty tight for the wild cards in the NFC, and that's
Yep.
going to be where a lot of the action is, especially late in the season. That jockeying and figuring out all the tiebreakers there. Is there anybody in the NFC that you think could mount like a dark horse playoff run to get one of these wild card spots?
Man, I don't know.
So in
They're
the
just
outside of the playoffs, the Rams, Seahawks, Buccaneers, and Saints are the 5-7 and 6-6 teams. Saints,
they
Bucks, Seahawks, Rams. Any of those?
they're just so tough at the top. Like it's hard to see some of these teams try to come up, but Seattle again, because they were already in contention at the beginning of the season. I think they can make a push. They got a pretty good team. They're a solid defensive wise. Um, and yeah, I mean, Geno Smith he's a serviceable quarterback. So if he can just calm down and get it done, he's got receivers on his, he's got DK, and Jake Smith. Who else did he have? Or Smith and Jake, you know what I mean?
Tyler
Charbonnet, but
Lockett.
Charbonnet might be out for a little bit, and
Oh damn, that sucks.
what's his name? Kenneth Walker didn't come back for this game, so they're a little
They're
thin in the backfields.
the Rams are 6-6 and have the Ravens, Commanders, Saints, Giants, and Niners. The Seahawks are 6-6 and have ooh, the Niners and Eagles up next before games against the Titans, Steelers, and Cardinals. So definitely, if the Seahawks win either the Niners or Eagles game, that's going to really help them. If they win both of those, that's also going to
Right.
mess up the top of the NFC rankings. I know that Seahawks would love to beat the Niners in San Francisco this week. We'll see how that goes. But then they also would get to host the Eagles in Seattle before Titans, Steelers, and Cardinals. That's going to be tough. I'm trying to see who these the Packers trying to hold on
No,
to their 7 seed.
no.
Get to play the Giants, Buccaneers, Panthers, Vikings, and Bears. That sounds like a pretty winnable 5 game stretch.
Any team that's playing the Panthers and the Bears right now, unless they're truly really trying to stay at the bottom for draft purposes, should be careful because there's nothing like being the spoiler when you're the team that everybody knows isn't going to make the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So those are dangerous games, or as they call them these days, trap games. But again, are those teams? Yeah, Seattle and the Rams. I like the Rams. I just don't like them defensively. That's the I don't know. They're not that great defensively, but offense, man. Thanks, Puka. You really helped me lose this week in fantasy football. So I'm
Bro,
happy
Puka
for you,
had like a 70-yard touchdown and he was out for a little bit, but
bro.
yeah, from
Yeah,
that
you finished.
first bam.
Well, I think he had like 23 points in fantasy. Uh, Yeah, that was tough for me.
The Dallas Cowboys, who are, let me check this, the fifth seed right now. They're a game behind the Eagles. Cowboys right now 9-3, Eagles 10-2. So they are also fighting for um, that division
Yeah, see,
game
that's how
or
tough
division title.
their division is right now because Dallas is playing really good ball coming down the stretch, and they're fifth seed. You say
Well,
that's tough on that side.
that's just because the Eagles have been having an amazing season right now,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah,
these two teams play this week. The
they do.
Eagles are going to play. This is in Philadelphia. Damn. Okay. No, no, this is in Dallas. Sunday Night Football in Dallas. So Eagles, Cowboys. This is going to be for the best record in the NFC East.
NFC, yeah,
Um, see, they lost to the Eagles, so the Cowboys could win versus the Eagles and then be tied with them in like the division stand, the heads up 1-1. So it would go to like division games. But the Cowboys have the Eagles, Bills, Dolphins, Lions, and Commanders. So that's actually tough. Those I see like three. The Eagles gonna be tough. The Bills obviously could be the shootout. The Dolphins are one of the best teams in the AFC, and then the Lions are a division leader themselves. So might be tougher for the Cowboys. So I see why the Eagles are still favored to win the division as far as the NFC.
definitely. I think the Cowboys have a much better chance if DeAndre Swift doesn't make it back, just because they still have Gainwell in the backfield, but I feel like DeAndre Swift is a really big part of that the offense that they run. Like you said, power run, yards on the ground,
Yep,
time control, ball
yep,
control.
yep,
So
yep.
I
Fourth and
think,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's
I
got to be
think they have
demoralizing too. Like if you bring up fourth and short, and you're like, "Yeah, punt the ball," and then they're like huddling up, and you're like, "Wait, hold on, I'm tired. Take time out, time out, time out, please, please, please."
I mean, hey, Godell, I mean, I don't know about look, it's I think it's a legal play, and with Godell coming out and saying he wants it banned, I don't know, man. Like,
Mm, hater.
uh, yeah, right. Like, I've always been one of those guys. Like, yo, if you can't beat it, what are you complaining about? Find a way to beat it.
Right,
But
right, yeah, yeah. If you want them to stop, then stop them.
yeah, but also Dallas. I wish they would use Pollard more. But they've been moving along, man. Dak's averaging at least 3 touchdowns a game right now. Um, Dak
What?
looks like, yeah, at least like three, I think. Because I have him in one of my fantasy leagues, and every time he plays, his name pops up. Touchdown, Dak Prescott, touchdown. I was like, hey, okay, Dak. What do you get? I think
Jesus.
he got me 35 this past week, I think.
The Jaguars are screwed.
Oh, did they lose?
Trevor Lawrence might have broken his ankle.
Oh,
Whoa. Help to the locker room. No.
oh, that sucks.
Oh my gosh, Gardner Minshew is about to become a god in Indiana. All right, that is our playoff tracker. We'll keep we'll keep tabs on how the playoff picture is shaping up next week also, and let you guys know if your team has a shot or not, or if you've been mathematically eliminated. I feel like we should do something. We should RIP all the teams that get eliminated as they each week. The next 5 weeks, we're gonna have a goodbye tour for all the teams that aren't gonna make it. Yeah. Any other thoughts from week 13 in the NFL?
Man, honestly, and you won't ever hear me say this, but I
Mm-hmm.
was pretty impressed with San Francisco winning that game like that. Because I was really banking on like a
Tough game.
slug it out game. Like San Francisco's defense, they you know what I mean? They they look nice. They're healthy. And I think any team that has Fred Warner on it,
Mm-hmm.
uh it definitely can win the game. You know what I mean?
Travarius Ward was out there
Smacking people.
like one covering AJ Brown with one arm, like,
Yep.
and they were setting up that matchup and they were cool with it, and he
Yep.
was coming through multiple times. You got
Yeah.
like touchdown throws deflected in the end zone.
like
And he was like, "I'm
Brown,
here,
yeah,
bro. I'm here. I'm gonna be here
yeah,
all night. You ain't
yeah.
scoring shit."
Like obviously AJ Brown's gonna get catches, he's gonna get some yards,
Yeah.
but Ward really like he limited the big plays that he's like, especially touchdown wise.
Mm,
Like in the end zone, he had them. So yeah, their defense looked really good, and so yeah, they really
nice.
surprised me. I think Miami needs to pick it up a little bit, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But offense, man, Tyreek just if he's not the fastest dude in the league, I don't know who is, but it just seems like everybody else is jogging while he's running by them.
Tyrese, I think he hit like 22 miles an hour this season.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah,
22.
so it's not just the speed; it's the explosion, though. Like he gets
Yeah,
up to that
oh,
so quickly,
short
and
area explosion for him.
you can see him pulling away from people full stride, and he's just
Yeah,
like Sonic.
exactly. And guys, I wonder what that must be shitty to be like with him for a little bit, and then when he decides to like kick it into the next gear, to
Yeah,
be like,
it's like
"Fuck,"
this is only my third form.
right?
Ah!
Exactly.
He just like
So,
looks over his shoulder and like grins, and it's like, oh, that's
man, I
cute.
miss because they don't allow him to do the peace sign anymore. I miss that because he used to be like,
Like, what
"Yo."
the hell, man? Come on, like a little bit of taunting. Like I understand you're trying not to like turn it into a mean bullying thing for kids, like, but
Why kids don't play
these,
NFL?
all right, but they
No,
do
I'm
look up
scared.
to the NFL, right? And they'll like even I guess there's like those kids that are, I want to say AAU ball, and they're like not
Oh,
about the
I saw
team,
that.
and
Yeah,
they're just by
yeah.
themselves, and they're just being shitty, or they're like
Man,
talking
that's a
shitty,
parent
like
thing, man. Yo, I know
yeah.
guys, I know
No,
kids with
okay, I see. Yeah.
shittier parents than, but I know I get it.
I don't think you should get a 15-yard penalty for doing the too small to somebody you just jump balled.
Yeah, no,
Like a little bit of taunting should be okay.
bro.
But
So I mean, cool story with like since we're talking about Cheetah, when he did that backflip. So the dude that gave him his phone is
mhm.
actually Tyreek's, like that's his dude. Like Tyreek helped him get onto the field
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
photographer.
I saw his like his video where he's like, "Yo, I'm Tyreek's. This is
Yeah.
how I became a
So he got
videographer. I
because he
hooked
got
up with
suspended.
Tyreek."
He's not allowed on
Yeah,
the field
I
anymore.
feel like that might. They said it wasn't planned,
Of
but
course, yeah, but so right now Tyreek is paying his salary,
yeah, I saw that.
which
He
is dope.
better.
Yeah, you're
Because
right.
you got him fired or you got him suspended from the
Got him
NFL,
suspended
and
for the
then he
rest of
made
the
it a
league.
second video that was like, "I just want to pursue my passions, and I didn't plan to do this thing with Tyreek. It was just my friend, and the NFL suspended me from all Dolphins games, and I can't work the job that I love anymore. But please just give me one more chance. I'll never mess up again." I was like, I don't believe you. I think it was planned. I don't think you should have got suspended. That was dumb. Oh, apparently he was like super hyped
Or all
after
the
the backflip.
games,
Yeah,
like all the games, like
I wouldn't have
may-
suspended him.
maybe like yeah.
I thought that was cool. Like he posted the video of the backflip. That did numbers.
Well, that's
Uh,
because we lived in the era where dudes would stop, go to the goalpost, pull out a Sharpie, and sign the
yeah.
ball. That was one of the most obnoxious, but like profit.
Terrell
Yeah,
Owens, Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson.
man, my man
Oh,
pulled out a
sick.
Sharpie, ran to the Dallas Star.
The Dallas Star had to be the hardest celebration in the
Man,
history
and then
of
what
the
happens?
NFL.
He ends up playing for Dallas.
Yeah, and then he gets to do it again. It's not as hard. But yeah, and
Oh
then
man,
Emmett Smith scoring a touchdown and then running back to the Star, spiking it in the middle of the field, saying, "This is my field. This is our Star." That was
man,
hard. And then Terrell Owens getting another touchdown and responding by running to the Star before getting tackled by the
yo,
safety and
was it
starting a
Terrell
fight.
too that pulled out the cell phone from his? No, it wasn't Terrell,
Nah,
huh?
Joe Horn.
Oh yeah.
Yo, the cell phone.
Whose son is a great football player right now too. So,
The Lambeau Leap was a custom
oh
celebration.
man, remember, man, guys on that on those Green Bay teams, Leroy Butler. Not too many people are
Mhm.
gonna know Leroy Butler. Who was their running back? They had a really good running back at that time too. Yeah, I mean, well, Reggie White was on that team.
Deuce McAllister, Ricky Williams. You
Oh my
saying the
gosh,
Saints?
no, Green Bay.
Oh, Green Bay.
Yeah.
Around the
Dorsey
Butler time.
Levens. Dorsey Levens.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So, but hey, Deuce McAllister, who's one of my favorite running backs.
Zabruza.
Deuce and Fred Taylor.
Yay. Shout out
Shout
old
out to the
man
Jaguars.
Fred, the
Yo,
pivot, Ryan Clark, built like a stripper.
hey,
Ashanti and Nelly are having a baby?
it was bound to happen. I mean,
Yeah, for real, right? That's what I told
bound to
Shandy when she
happen,
told me. I was like, oh, yeah. See, you keep fucking around, and then
right?
eventually you go have a baby. They just kept going too much. And she was like, I never thought that would happen. I was like, have you ever seen these two people perform together?
Now I mean, it's not so much now, but hey, now you want a dilemma. Now you got one.
Bro, what is it? Body on me. Akon.
You got to do a remix now. She's got to sing Dilemma instead of Kelly.
Instead of Kelly Rowland.
Yeah, they got to do a remix with her.
Yo, Ja Rule. I listened to some Ja Rule
Oh,
today after hearing that news.
man, I used to love like his old stuff, man. I mean, even New York, like
Do you
I'm not from New York, but that was a good
New
song.
York?
But now I'm like, man, I can't. I don't. I'm embarrassed to listen to Ja Rule. I don't know
Is it
why.
because of the Fire Festival?
I have no idea. That should be one of them. I mean,
Is it
but
the Dave Chappelle joke? Where's Ja?
it's all the jokes, man.
Murder
Even
Inc.
you listen to how like a lot of stories about how he was getting punked out in New York. I don't know, man.
Yo,
I
yeah, we
don't
thought
know.
that he was like a gangster and cool and like rapping about
Mhm.
being tough and stuff, but
I don't know. I don't know.
no, the Gotti brothers
Irv Gotti.
making money. What else? Shoot, what else we got? Anything else for this week?
Man, what else is going on this week? Shoot. Man, send me some good vibes, everybody. Man, I'm going down to it is in Tequila. Tequila, they got a job opening for airplane cleaner, after hours airport airplane cleaner.
Hey,
So
late night
late
flight
night,
benefits. Look at this guy.
flight benefits, good pay. So we're gonna check
Was
it
it?
out on
Is it
Thursday.
for Hawaii Alaska merger?
It doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure maybe they just do all. Maybe they're contracted to do all the planes, but go down there, see what's up, talk to the people,
Hey
see if
man, I
it's
don't know if you heard the Politicking podcast when they were talking about the way things work at airports.
oh
You protect
that's
yourself, bro.
that's the ramp, dog.
That's a ramp.
That's the ramp,
That's the
dog.
ramp agents, dog.
Yeah, no,
That's that's not me. I'm just
yeah, no, I won't be in the break room with you know what I mean. No, but
after
yo,
hours
but
league ops.
there was like a big like I don't know her name, so I'm not gonna say names because I can't. But and I can't even like factuate the story. But there was a story, like a bigger story about how one of the airport workers was cheating on her husband, and it
Oh,
got all over like I mean, well, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of that going on, but it got all over like Twitter. It was on TikTok. There were people were making memes about it
oh
on
no.
like Poly TikTok. I was like, bro, that's crazy. But it's so funny because it's usually the person that's doing the same deed, the one that throws the first stone. So like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Ah,
This I've heard stories too. I've heard that there's a lot of that goes on over there. You know what I mean? You joke one day about having a work wife or work husband, and all of a sudden it's your side piece or you're a side piece. So I don't know, man. I don't
the
know.
first time you do like a dinner outside the airport restaurants and you go to like a real one, that's got to be like a
Um,
big step. Like the Sherry's down the road.
ooh.
Yeah.
You see, it's not even that. It's what you do after the sherries. It's like, wait, yeah, it's
Girl,
all
it's like
right.
4 in the morning right now. What's
That's the thing.
happening?
It's all right, Polly. Who you going home with? It's all right. And you know, what I mean, that's how it starts. It's all right. Calm, what do you eat? Yeah, I'm very funny. Mm-hmm.
Yo, it's some more when you're just like, yeah, I'll drive. I ain't got nothing else to do. I can drive 40
Oh,
minutes. Come
man.
on.
I'm not proud, but I've done it. But like it's like,
Oh man,
how you
yeah.
getting home? Where you staying? Where do you live? Oh, yeah, man, I can take
Yeah, I
it.
mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I
like
can take it.
58% of the island, but
Right.
yeah, yeah, I'll go that way.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah. Hey, yo, it's how we met Will. Sorry, Will. About to throw you under the bus. Um, we were at a party, big party, big party. Party finished. We're all of us who threw the party were cleaning up at the end of the night. It's probably about 3, 4 in the morning, and under one of the tents on the table is this kid. And this is before we all like, because Will's like a brother to us. So no, Will's a brother to us. So yeah, we go to the table and this kid's sleeping on the table. And we wake him up and be like, "Hey man, you all right? You need a ride home?" And he's like, "No, my cousin's coming. He's gonna get off of work." And, where we were at, the party was close to the main road. Like we're literally off the main road, at the Edie Edie golf course. I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus anymore than Will, so I won't say the house or the person that owns the house. But I love you. Um, I love you to death. You always be my ace. Uh, yeah. So he was like, "Yo, yeah, my cousin works at the hospital, which was another like probably 20 minutes away from where we were. He's gonna come. He's gonna get off of work. He's gonna stop here and pick me up. I already called him. Oh, dope. 4 in the morning. What time's your cousin getting? Oh, he gets off at like 8:30.
Wait, what? Oh,
Bro,
you're just gonna take a nap here
it's
then.
I was like, nah, man, we'll take you home, man. And he's like, are you sure? Also, Will's probably he said because he admitted that he was kind of cautious, didn't meet, he's never met us before. Mind you, I'm only 5'8", but I'm a bigger dude. You met Brady. Brady was there, bigger
Hey,
dude.
Brady.
Josh was there, bigger dude, and then
Calm.
so yeah, so uh he was like, you know what? Yeah, okay, cool. And he's drunk, so he gets in the truck, and then we start the truck. Hey, where do you live at? He goes, what's it called? And I was like, fuck.
Hey, give me a good CD. Hey, pass me a good
That
CD.
that's exactly what happened. I looked at the CD player. I was like, man, we looked in the CD, put in the CD. Man, and that's history, and that's how I found another brother, Will McCoy. Man, we've been friends. Like we've been bros
Oh,
ever since.
nice.
So
Yo,
funny.
late night riding around.
Oh, it's
Even
different
if,
than Samoa, man.
bro, like, trying not to get pulled over. And not that I was drinking while I was driving,
You
but
just don't want you just don't want to get pulled over because
yeah,
it's
because you're
like
the only car out there or
right, you're the
something.
only
And, like, the cop's like, well, who the hell are these kids? And we follow them. But
yeah, where are they going?
I'm
Like,
just like,
bro,
yo, it's quiet. It's dark. It's just your headlights. You might even catch like a ride to the east side, and now you
bruh,
definitely rolling the windows down
some of the
and
best
just
times of my life
waves,
were on
the
a late night driving
moon.
to Samo. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Driving back from Club Oceans, just
Oh
going to the
God.
west side from Pongo. It's just, yeah, man,
Bro.
that's good
Bro,
times.
if we were bored, we would literally drive from like
Just go for a drive.
so again, you stayed in Kafunga, Ili Dooli, but we drive all the way to like Kula. And then if we were like we weren't
Damn,
sleepy yet, we drive all the way the other side. You know what I mean? Just
that's
like past
crazy.
Will's village, past Sekama. So gas was at a very reasonable price at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if we do it now with gas being like $5. I don't know about that.
What is gas back home in American Samoa right now?
It's I think it's about $5, $4. Same
What?
about like Hawaii, I think. So yeah, same as here, like almost I think equal to the price here. I know you're looking it up right now, so
I'm
I don't probably
slamming away at this right now.
wow,
American
overtime.
Samoa gasoline prices 27 or
Oh, what $27?
no, this is 27th of November 2023. Oh, I lost it. Where is it?
Gas prices did drop. Yeah, they went down a little bit. So
They don't even for comparison the average price in the world. I don't think they have it yet. They don't have the information here. Sorry.
yeah, so I think it was like at least the last time I asked, they were like it was close to the prices here, a little bit closer to the prices in Hawaii.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. If you live in American Samoa right now, the next time you go get gas, shoot like a little
Man,
picture or something. U.S. unleaded 428 maximum allowable price. So current previous is like 378. So around $4 maybe is what I'm seeing on this
Five
Office
dollars.
of Petroleum Management and American Samoa Petroleum Cooperative website. Offices of Disaster
Uh,
Assistance and Petroleum Management.
I'm trying to look for the date on this article, but it doesn't. But this is from 2023. The gas prices were $5
Yeah.
and 13
Wow.
cents.
Yeah, hopefully it's gone down from then.
Yeah,
Dang, $5 in Samoa. That's yeah, that's tough.
bruh.
I'm sure that's like
I mean,
they're feeling an effect, right? Because everything gets
yeah,
shipped down
shipped
there,
in.
but then driven around or delivered, or you got to go and drive and get stuff yourself. Go to the store, or the store has to drive it out somewhere. So I'm sure they're feeling like some of that. Also, I heard KS Mart is like a Costco. It's like got an electrician and a bakery and
Oh, yeah. Well, you left before me, so uh, they didn't have the bakery when you were there.
I don't know if they had a bakery. They had like I don't know, like that front parking spot area, maybe like 30, 20, 30 car spaces there. Guess
No,
I didn't
so
go to KS Mart a
um,
lot.
I don't know if you so if you remember where the freezers were when you're walking through the aisles because there was the freezers. So before I left, right behind the freezers, they opened up the back where they used to store shit, and that came turned into the bakery, and then like you said, like more. It's more of like I don't know about Costco. I think it's more if we were here, it'd be more like Fred Meyer's.
Oh, like a super grocery.
Yeah. So they have the bakery in the back, like a Safeway,
They
Fred
have clothes
Meyer's.
too.
So they have
Yeah,
clothes in the
okay,
back
okay,
and like household stuff,
nice.
yeah, electronics. And then they also, before I left, added like a little restaurant that we're in there that served really good food
Oh
actually.
yeah, okay, yeah. My
Yeah,
mom
yeah,
said there was
yeah.
like a cafe, a restaurant or something.
Yeah,
Nice.
they serve real good food in there.
Shout out to the
Um,
Hongs, bro.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, and then what's his name? Soda. Before I left was part of the board at ASPA. I don't know if he's still with them. So
I
um,
just remember him winning every poker game I went to at his house. That dude was like he knew how to play people. Like the way he stacked and moved his chips up was so fucking strong. Yo, those are great times. That was fun.
that's because he could do it because he has more money than everybody at that game,
It
probably.
yeah, it helps to have a big bankroll and be able to buy in over and over. Like doesn't matter if this misses, I can just get right back in.
Right.
Yeah, shout out man. But also just the commerce and the entrepreneurship and
Yeah, yeah.
the
They've been doing it.
franchise building that in
They've
Samoa
been,
for so long
yeah,
and
they've been doing it for a
what
long
it's at now.
time. I remember when they were just a smaller store in Powayana.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the hill coming down from like Alwa, Kafeka,
Mhm.
like they were the store right across from that going up. That was KS.
Oh,
If
right at
you
the
can
bottom
remember.
of the hill?
Yeah, right next
Like
to
Chen's?
yeah. No, well not at the is it Chen's? Across the street though. Next to the is that a that's not a Mormon chapel next to it.
Mm.
Like Bangofier's house is on the other side of the house,
So if
first
you're
street.
going down the hill and you get to the road, it's you're facing it?
Yeah, you're facing it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh,
Because Chen's is right next to it, isn't it? It's like
yeah, the
on the
one
same
that
side.
like
Yeah,
it's on the road
yeah,
going up.
yeah. So they were right across the street.
Shout out to the Snow Boys.
So funny, man. You know what I mean? Just coming from like a small island like that, it's like literally. I tell people it's equivalent to living in a small town here. So you get names so for you guys who aren't from American Samoa, the Snow Boys, they come from on top of a mountain. That's where their village is.
Shit,
Uh,
air conditioned up there, bro. The whole
oh my
thing air
gosh.
conditioned at night.
No, yeah,
It's
you don't
so
need
different from the rest
just
of the
open a
island.
window. Exactly. Uh and the coolest thing about the villages when you get to the top is they're separated by the road. So literally on one side of the road is Asu and on the other side of the road is Alawao. That's so yeah, separate. I mean, can you imagine like back in the day when they'd have like disagreements like the villages like the war it's literally across the street like
You stay on your side.
right exactly and then also you can go down to old Asu where they have still have the monument there. I don't know how well they cleaned it up anymore, but Massacre Bay. They call it Massacre Bay because French.
Because the French can't fight.
We have a history lesson today. The French, I think they were missionaries. You know, what I mean? But when they landed down there, and at the time, cannibals lived down on Massacre Bay, and disagreement ensued, and the French didn't win, and they ended up being dinner, not staying for dinner.
They stayed for dinner and never left.
Yeah, they weren't ready. So yeah, no, man, there's so many places like
The mountain guys were the snow boys. The
Snow
valley guys
Boys,
right there in Ely Ely were the bounty hunters.
IBH.
IBH. Damn, who
Man,
else? The demons of Nauli.
whoa, whoa,
The
whoa, whoa,
devils.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
The Satans.
They don't use that name anymore.
Yeah. Yo, was that really a big deal? Is that why they changed it? Because of the devilness? Like, I
Well,
feel like
so
everybody in Nauli was rocking like a red,
man, we loved
like
it.
super old school,
I
twisted
mean,
mustache,
it
red
was
faced devil.
that's what they caught. So yeah, again, not from American Samoa or Samoa. The village I grew up in, mostly Nauli, their mascot, because we have boats that we race called Fautasis, was named Satani or the devil.
Yeah.
And so the story I heard is, I don't know if how real it is, but they had lost a couple of races, you know what I mean, consecutively, and the village council got together and decided that maybe, maybe,
You know why we're losing.
right, so maybe we should. So they are now called the Manulele Tausala, the birds, and they've been winning ever since. You know what I
Did,
mean?
were there did Nauli win any Faltasi races as Satani?
They did. They did. They
So
did.
it was cool when you guys were winning.
Yeah, but you know,
But once you were losing, it was the reason. You guys
yo, man, we haven't even got the
gotta
shout
change it.
outs, but shout out to Ili Ili. They have a boat now. They have a boat. Lupe Ili Ili is in the Faltasi race now.
Hilarious.
They are currently, I don't know if their boat's built already, but I see one of our good friends, Sean Tumonoval, is super involved in everything going on there. He's doing a lot of great things in American Samoa. He's brought I think it's called Talofa Eats. Shout out to you, Sean. It's American Samoa's own Uber, their own Uber Eats called Talofa Eats.
Hey,
So
yeah,
so
Tall for
Sean
Eats.
found yeah, Sean's a smart guy, man. Obviously, because he went to Marist. Yee-hee. Alumni of Marist High School. He got into coding and he's doing great things back home, man. So he built
Nice.
that app, that business now he's running. I know other people are ventured in with him, but yeah, Sean's a great guy. Also married to a great woman who's been helping American Samoa from way back then, Kaylani Ricketts Tumanoval now. She's a legend in the softball game for women, all the way from college to now. Um, yeah, great things going on back home. I remember, so I've seen a lot of his posts right now. They've been fundraising. I know they're building a boathouse or a faleva'a in Samoa for their boat, Ili Ili, and I think they might be ready to race this coming Flag Day,
Nice.
which is big because a lot of the guys, a lot of the people I call brothers too are they row for Matasawa, which is the boat from Manua. So it's going to be tough because a lot of those guys are also based in the Ili, grown up there. You know, Lige, Tuni, my guy Mapo, all those guys. So you know what I mean. It's going to be tough. So we'll
Nice.
see who they row for this year. Manua also has no shortage of guys who want to row for them. So maybe
Why
those guys will row for Ili.
why didn't Ili Ili have a Faltasi before? Like not enough people or
I
like not
think
enough money to
that's
put a boat
yeah.
together?
I think it wasn't just the village council not wanting to put up money for it or didn't see it as anything
Gotcha.
feasible for the village to do. So yeah.
Nice.
So
So those
I know
guys are
they have
probably
donors.
going to other Faltasis and participating and rowing for their teams, but now they have their own
Yeah, I think
Ili Ili village team
yeah.
boat.
Also again in Samoa, just like you maybe you have ties to other villages. So if your village didn't have a boat,
Mm,
you could always find. I know a lot of, like I said, a lot of those guys rode for Mutasawa. Fangasa is part of Nauli because they're separated. I know it's a farther way to get there, but you're separated by just a mountain. So they're kind of in the same like district. So if Bonsai didn't have a boat one year, then a lot of those guys would go for Naudi and then vice versa. So yeah.
Nice. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Talo for Eats.
Yeah, man.
To the new Faltasi for Ili Ili. What'd you go, Lupilele?
Yep, that's what I'm
Nice.
hearing. Literally.
Any yeah, let's do shout outs. Any other shout outs for this week or people
Man,
that been doing it big?
shout out to all the athletes from both American Samoa, Samoa, and the South Pacific as a whole that participated in this year's South Pacific Games. I saw a lot of good things. 3-on-3 men's basketball, they put up a good fight. Unfortunately, they didn't medal, but they won a few games, so that's cool to see. Who did we had some? We did win some medals. I saw. I wasn't
Nice.
keeping up. Volleyball, I know they did pretty good. Who else? Well, I seen one of the, I know you know him, if not by face, but then we've seen him before around Samoa. But he weightlifted for Apia or Samoa this year, and he won like every goal that he was in. I forgot his name, but I know he's really close to the Maito family. Uh, so yeah, it was a good showing for Samoa, American Samoa. They put up a good showing. Shout out to the Fiji basketball team. They won the gold medal against Guam. I have friends that play for them too, so that was great to see. Also, not to see Guam win. uh, yeah, but shout out to all those athletes who made it out there, especially from like where we're from, American Samoa and Samoa, for just going out there to compete and representing our island as a whole and doing a really good job of representing them. So that's amazing. Shout out to you guys. Well, again, I shout out my nephew again, who's in Florida at this moment. He played a couple.
Hey.
They won a game, lost the game, but he's having a good time. The experience is great. Um, man, he's also youth sports is crazy right now. So they're in Florida. They come back sometime this week, and then at the end of the month, they're headed to another tournament. I think they're gonna play in a tournament that's hosted by Snoop Dogg's Youth Football League, which is one of
Nice.
the top football leagues, youth football leagues in the country.
In
So
the
if not the
country.
top, yeah. So they're gonna be going for that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna post all. He's gonna be fundraising, so I'll post that up, and when he's ready to fundraise for that, and anybody wants to help, that'd be great. But and shout out last one to all the transfer portal kids who are transferring to different schools. Whatever your reason is, I'm old school, man. So like I wish a lot of these guys would stay, man. But whatever your goal is, if it's the money that's leading you somewhere, I hope it helps your family. If
Mm-hmm.
it's game time, I hope it helps your career.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's you just being comfortable, I hope you get somewhere where you can be comfortable, play football, go to school, reach your
Amen.
goals. So,
Let's
because
go, Coach Forrest.
man,
Yeah.
the transfer portal is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm a Notre Dame fan, so a lot of the receiver room in Notre Dame right now is a little depleted because one they fired their receivers coach, so a lot of guys exited. I don't know how that's connected, but they might be. Also, with the coaching change at Oregon State, um, I'm sure it affected a little bit of DJ Uiagalelei's situation.
Yep.
So he is now also in the transfer portal.
Yeah, that's
There's
crazy.
rumblings of him uh transferring maybe to Ohio State, which would be crazy. I know Oregon, where his younger brother plays, is looking for a quarterback again, because Bo Nix should be on his way to the NFL after this bowl game.
From Oregon State to Oregon. Ooh.
Man, that and he played in that Civil War game, being against his brother. So it'd be crazy. Yeah. So I'm sure
Nice.
there's a lot of other poly kids in the transfer portal. So especially those kids, man. Shout out to you guys, man. Go live your dream, man. Do what you got to do to make your dream come true. Make that money. Don't let the money make you though.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all about, use your talents, make that money. And even though we might be like more old school and like play for your team and play out your season and participate in the holiday bowl,
hey,
we
Caleb,
understand. We
you're done,
understand.
man. You don't need to win another game.
Yeah,
Get out of
that's the
there.
thing. We understand. Like, they're looking towards the future and they're not trying to get hurt in
Yeah,
a
landscape is
meaningless
totally
bowl.
different. The landscape of college football, college sports, in fact, is totally different. So yeah, man.
Shout out, let's see, shout out to the college football playoff committee for making the right decision and booting the Seminoles out. Yeah, you're undefeated, but you don't have a quarterback. We don't want to offer you up to Michigan like that. Why don't
That's
you go to
we'll
go to
talk. We're
Vegas?
gonna have to talk about this. Man, I really think Florida State should. I'm one of those. Hey, yo, if you're undefeated and they're in a Power Five conference,
And they won their their conference
right? And they're the
and the
conference champions,
undefeated. They won every
bruh.
game they played. They're the
That's
champion of their
crazy,
conference. Alabama was the SEC champion, right? They beat Georgia, who was
bro.
undefeated
You
to that
you
point.
don't want to see Florida State play Michigan, but you want Alabama to come in and trample Michigan because that's what's gonna happen.
Ooh, yeah, definitely. Instead of seeing Michigan, I think that's what they did. They're just like, Florida State's coming in here with a backup quarterback, and it's not going to be as good a game. It was just all for the ratings, which a bunch of people have a problem with, and I totally understand. Like, if you're the champion of your conference, you still can't get in, but
That sucks.
undefeated champion of your conference still can't get in. There's something about about wins not being the ultimate thing that matters, but yeah. So what is it? Yeah. Also, shout out to the Pac-12 and all of the mascots for being there to send off the salute to
That was sad, man. They have
the
uh
Conference of Champions.
well, they had the Oregon Duck and the Oregon State Beaver hugging each other from that picture from them. I was like, wow, that's
Yeah, this is like one of those moments where like people laugh at sports people for like crying at mascots hugging, but there's also
that's
like so much
man,
history,
that's
years and
tough,
years of rivalries and matchups
man.
and playing the same other schools and
Yeah, I will tell you, even though I was a Notre Dame fan, the Pac-12, Pac-10 when I was growing up has always been my favorite conference just because I got to see a lot of people who look like me play
oh
on those
yes,
teams. You know what I
yes,
mean?
yes.
From guys like George Malaulu, Troy Polamalu, just
Mm,
big names like that. If you guys don't know who George Malaulu is, please go look it up. Because my man, he probably has the record. He was in a bowl game once, threw a 75-yard touchdown, if I'm not correct, with his right hand. Came back the next season, a bowl game, and threw one with his left hand for about the same length or
yeah.
same yardage. One of the greatest quarterbacks in Arizona, if you ask me. Also a very great baseball player. So yeah, you get to see guys like that play football at schools in the Pac-12. So
The pack announcers, shout out to the pack announcers who had to be like really versed and started getting really good at saying like Islander names.
oh my god.
Oyalele!
Bro.
Touchdown! Like, oh shit, that was pretty good.
Hey,
Get it, Ian?
we're gonna have to teach some of these guys that it's not Unga, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So but yeah, Pac-12 announces you right. Shout out to you guys for doing your homework.
And that is our episode for this week. Ballinesian podcast recapping the NFL playoff picture as it takes shape over the next month or so. We'll also have fantasy football talk as we go through our fantasy football postseasons and championships, which I think I might make the playoffs in one or two, maybe one. But yeah, we'll see the landscape and people you should add, players and stuff like that. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll catch you guys next time for Forest. This is Lance, and for the Ballinesian podcast, thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay ballin'. Love and light. Peace.
Hey.
Nice. Where am I? Where'd you get your ninjas background?